In many ways, Kenya will benefit significantly and also will contribute significantly. You know, one of the things, just to talk of a shared future will come in many ways: technology, trade, and integration. So if we can expand the BRI system, you know, and one key example is the Mombasa to Naivasha to Malaba SGR. Now, that rail system should be seen not as a Kenyan project, but as a regional project, because ultimately you now connect Mombasa, connect it to Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And eventually you can even get to the Atlantic, so that the Atlantic can be connected with the Indian Ocean. Now, if you look at it from that perspective, you are going to increase a lot of trade, and with this, you can even do a fiber optic running alongside the rail. So integration, both in terms of physical infrastructure for cargo, and then also in the digital space, where we can communicate and improve in interconnectivity, is going to be a very big situation. And we see Kenya benefiting substantially from this. And we are also strategically placed as a logistic and financial hub in the East Africa region. In Kenya, there's been some very strong outcomes of the partnership between Kenya and China. And I'll give you an example. The SGR, the standard gauge railway, which I've talked about, which improves connectivity, and we are now talking of extending it to Uganda and then beyond. We have seen through the PPP, public-private partnerships, there's a new expressway in Kenya, and this is an investment from Chinese companies with the Kenyan people. And we can have more of this. For instance, we look forward to exploring the road from Nairobi, Rironi, all the way to Mao Summit, and eventually even to the Malaba again, on a PPP basis, as one of the programs we want to look at very critically. The friendship with China has also enabled quite a number of roads to be done in Kenya, and we are looking at, hopefully, if all goes well today, there could be a signing off formally of about 2 billion RMB to help in completing about 15 roads in different parts of the country that can then be completed, and that will definitely have a serious multiplier effect on the economy of the country. So we can see that there's a very strong partnership. We have partnerships in the areas of ICT going on. There are Chinese companies, big ones, that are now looking at Kenya as a serious investment destination. We are now receiving about 200,000 tourists from China on an annual basis. We see this number going up because now Kenya is a visa-free country. So if you want to come in, you don't have to go through the process of the visa. So this is going to provide a good opportunity so that even tourism and other cultural exchanges can take place. And I see growth in these sectors as we work together. So as I speak to this, I'm also keen on stating that we are now looking forward to greater private sector investment from the Chinese companies into Kenya. Challenges? I think that's a very important question. And it is indeed one of the key planks of the FOCAC, the whole aspect of global security, the Global Security Initiative. So this fits in very, very well with that aspect, because we need to have our countries to talk more. The normal media has focused on the challenges in Ukraine, Russia and Ukraine, in the Middle East, and they have forgotten the conflicts in Sudan, for instance, in the Sahel, the challenges we are facing in the Horn of Africa. So this communication, this FOCAC partnership has provided a very good opportunity for us to focus on some of the challenges that are facing Africa. And I'll give an example that in this gathering, we were able to see the delegation from Sudan. So China, for instance, can play a very pivotal role in bringing the conflicting parties in Sudan to the negotiating table, so that a peaceful solution can eventually be found to the challenges of Sudan. So from a diplomatic angle, China can play a very important role in working with the African Union and working with the countries of Eastern of Africa. In fact, China also has a special envoy for the Horn of Africa on matters of peace and security. So these, to me, are important, and this provided a good platform for that to be held. And on the sidelines, the breakaway sessions, there were different thematic areas, and one of the thematic areas was